Assalamu alaikum students. This is our next lecture about the neuron. So in previous lecture we studied about the structure and function of the neuron. Now we are going to talk about the different types of neuron. So let's come about. Actually, neuron can be divided into three types: sensory neuron, motor neuron, and associated neuron, or you can call it as interneuron. So sensory neuron is a type of neuron which carry the impulse from our sense organ to CNS. So our sense organs like our skin, our nose, our eyes, our ears, a lot about. So these neurons carry the impulse from our skin. So I mentioned that if someone touch you, then skin is our sense organ. So sensory organ carry this impulse of touch from your skin to your CNS. So these neurons which carry this impulse, they are called a sensory neuron. In these neurons, the axon is short, while there is a single long dendrite called dendron. Okay, so come is diagram. So it says that a sensory neuron have a short axon. So this is a sensory neuron from here to here. It is a sensory neuron. This is what sense organ. Okay, this sense organ. This is my sensory neuron. Okay, the sensory neuron. So in a sensory neuron there is a long dendrite which we call dendron. When dendrite is a single and long, we call it dendron, not dendrite, dendron. Single is a dendron and the plural is a dendrite. Okay, so it have a long dendron. Okay, this is a dendron. Okay, this is dendron and this is axon. So this small is axon and this long is dendrite. So in a sensory neuron, the axon is short and the dendrite is long, which we call is dendron. Okay, next is the motor neuron. A motor neuron is a type of neuron which carry the impulse from our CNS to our effector. So the sensory neuron carried this impulse, while the motor neuron is the big pathway for carrying this impulse from our CNS to our effector or sense organ. Okay, they have long axon and many short dendrites. So this is a structure of motor neuron. In a motor neuron there are short dendrites. So these are the, this is a motor neuron. This is a motor neuron, and this is a short dendrites. Okay, short dendrites while have a long axon, in short dendrites. Okay, so third one is the associative neuron. These neurons link motor neuron with sensory neuron. So the impulse carried by the sensory neuron, the big pathway was given by the motor neuron. So associative neuron are type of neuron which carry this to this. They are only found in brain and spinal cord. These type of neuron are only found in our CNS, not in other parts of the body. Sensory and motor neuron are found throughout the body, but associative neuron is only found in our CNS because their function is to link sensory with motor neuron. Due to its function, they are usually non-myelinated. They are found in our CNS. They have short dendrites and axon. In these neurons, the dendrites are also short and the axons are also short. So come to its diagram. This is a neuron. Okay, from this portion, tell this associative neuron. They have, so you can see here, this is axon and these are the dendrites. So the dendrites are also short, you can see here, and the axon is also short. So their function is only for linking, not for other function like the sensory and motor neuron. So I recommend this, that this is my sense organ. Like someone have touched me. This is the symbol of touch. So someone have touched me. So this stimuli of touching carried by the dendrites of sensory or sensory neuron from the sense organ. Okay, so this is carried to the dendrites of sensory neuron. Okay, so it come to the cell body. From the cell body, it is carried by the axon to the next associative neuron. So now the information is sent to our CNS, not in our other body. Like you saying that it is my hand, it has touched me. So there are also associative neuron which have touched with the sensory neuron. Not when the information is sent completely, so they are found in our CNS, like my spinal cord or my brain. Okay, so now this information was given by the axon terminal of the sensory neuron to the dendrites of associative neurons. Okay, so I have mentioned before it. So information come to the cell body. From the cell body, it is carried to the next motor neuron in order to give a response to our sense organs, in order to give a response for the touch of someone. Okay, so now the information moved through the axon and this way, and then there is another axon terminal of the associative neuron. So it give the information to another neuron dendrites, which is the motor neuron, through the axon terminal of associative neuron. So okay, the information or the stimuli come to the cell body of the motor neuron. From the motor neuron, it goes through the axon of long axon of the motor neuron, like on this way. Okay, back through the axon terminal of the motor neuron, it is back given to the effector or the sense organ, and it responsive, or it give the message that someone have touched you or someone have beat you, so go from this place, it is danger for you. So students, these are the types of neuron. So I hope that you have enjoyed and learned more about my lecture. So please subscribe my channel in order to you receive more